This is Steve Young for the Co-Roundtable. In the realm of human rights, I think it's been taken for granted for so long, certainly since the mid-1600s in England and in the American Constitution and in the International Declaration of Human Rights, that human rights include free speech. You can say what you want within the limits of slander and libel. And you can be as brilliant or as stupid, and the responsibility is on you and what people think of you. And the human right is really directed against government, to protect you against government from punishing you for speaking out in various ways. But now, thanks to technology and capitalism, there's a new way of censoring people's speech. There's a new way of denying people the right to be heard, and that's through private companies. In particular, Facebook and Twitter. And in other countries, it could be other situations. But in the United States, Facebook and Twitter have the power, and they've been using it. And in our recent political campaign, they've been accused by some of using it too much, of not putting on the internet your comments. They will not. Twitter will not allow you to have a tweet saying certain things which are supposed to be false or what they think is wrong. And Facebook does the same thing. They will take it down, or they will put something on it saying to everybody, don't believe these people. And the question is, one, who gives them the right to do that as private parties? And then the question number two is, if someone has power over other people and prevents them from exercising what we consider to be a basic freedom, a basic human right, should that powerful person be disciplined? Should they be regulated? Should they be constrained? What is the balance of power between the company, the private company, and the individual, who, by the way, is not paying anything for the service? The individual user of Twitter or Facebook doesn't pay anything, so they're not technically a customer. There's no technically a kind of a contract back and forth. It's just, you want to use Twitter, you sign up, and you play by their rules. So Mark Zuckerberg, the head of Facebook, has been called before the Congress, along with also the head of Microsoft and Twitter, to defend or to make a case that they should be given freedom to regulate speech. Also, by the way, speech is related to thought. And speech and thought are related to freedom of political opinions and freedom of religion and a lot of other things. One person came up with a concept that we should create in the United States a private zone, a First Amendment zone on social media, where there's some zone where if you go into that zone, you can say anything you want. Outside of that zone, then companies or others can regulate you for decency, indecency, excessive stupidity, harmful kinds of things, racial kinds of things, viciousness of all kinds. But some zone at least where you can go in and say what you want and take the consequences. This is kind of a new issue, I think, for capitalism, because we've never had any private company with such power over speech.